Perfect. All right, and this is kind of like maybe for more the super casual U.S. men's team fan,
Mhm.
but why play Serbia in a friendly? I don't understand, and you kind of explained it, but just to kind of break it down further, why don't we play teams like England or France? I mean, Mexico got a friendly against the Netherlands. Why
Mhm.
why aren't we letting ourselves measure up to the competition more?
No, that's an excellent question, Tim, and it has to do with scheduling. It has to do with the fact that you have to schedule these things in, and a lot of times countries have already have like a packed schedule, and they can't fit these games in the windows that they have available. And especially now this year over in Europe, they have the Nations League going on, so we can't expect to really get any meaningful. And when I say meaningful, I mean like any scrimmages or any friendlies against those teams because of Nations League. So they've got their own, tournaments going on, and it's all about scheduling and timing, which is why unfortunately we're left with having to
Sucks.
schedule games against CONCACAF opponents. And that's why we're playing El Salvador. That's why we're playing Panama. A lot of these minnows
Wales.
that are swimming around. Yeah, Wales, I mean, that was a decent team, but that's not a top level team that you'd want to
Yeah.
see your squad play against.
Versus
Because
like England.
yes, I mean, it would be nice because even if you look down at the South American teams, the CONMEBOL teams, a country like Chile, right,
Yeah.
gets to have friendlies, gets to maybe schedule friendlies against Brazil,
Yeah.
Argentina, Uruguay. They get to schedule these high level
You said
friendlies.
How did you say that? I thought it was Uruguay.
Yeah,
But
Uru,
I can't even
Uru,
say it.
Uruguay. Yeah, so you would want to see the United States play those countries, but unfortunately, the best, like I think the best case scenario we can ask for is maybe a CONCACAF opponent, say Mexico or Canada at this point. Otherwise, yeah,
I'll
we're
take
stuck with
Mexico until we have to wait. I think for the Gold Cup, right?
100%. I think that would be a
Which
good,
sucks.
yeah, a good matchup. But yeah,
Okay.
you're right. So yeah,
Okay.
so that's why we can't. That's why we can't schedule in these friendlies against some of the other countries that we want.
Let's play Mexico eventually. And what's his name? The guy who's refusing yet to sign that transfer. Let's impress him and bring him on finally from Mexico. What was
Oh,
his name again?
you're talking about Efrain Alvarez, who
Yeah.
plays for the LA Galaxy, dude. He projects as a natural 10. He is a
Yeah.
10. If we
Yeah.
have him, we have our 10 for the next 10 or 15 years. Efrain Alvarez is on another level. He's the
And
best prospect we have in the United States, and he's one of the best prospects that Mexico has. That's why Mexico is trying so hard to keep him, and we have to try to roll out the red carpet to try to lure him back to us. The fact is that he's the guy who was playing alongside Zlatan for the LA Galaxy at 16. We need him. He needs game time. I mean, he's fit. He's a magician out there. I mean, he's a guy that could deliver a devastating final ball into the box. We need that player. We need that player who can wreck the other team's defense. That's Alvarez. And
and
again,
what?
he's American. He's American born, Tim. He was
Mm-hmm.
born here, but he also understands that MLS is not the end all competition. I know he sees the way his career projects is that he's eventually going to play probably somewhere in Europe, somewhere in
Yeah.
South America. He's going to play in a high level league on one of the
You
best
should.
teams, which he should absolutely because he's still a teenager. So yeah, I mean, we need to get him because if the U.S. men's national team can get him and he can sign his one-time transfer over to the United
Oh,
States,
dude.
it's going to be lights out, dude. It's going to be straight up lights out if we get Efra. It's going
And,
to be
and
so
guys,
awesome.
we'll obviously that was a little preview, but eventually we're going to get around to previewing these younger dudes who should make a huge impact moving forward.
Yes.
But real quick, prediction versus Serbia.
Okay. So, all right. So, full disclosure, I don't know much about Serbia at all, right? I've never watched them play. I don't. So, I guess when we actually see the friendly, we'll see how they set up. We'll see
Mm-hmm.
whether or not we'll see how they set up. We'll see how they like to play possession. Do they like to press? Do they like to sit back? We'll
Sure.
know all of those things during the game. But we do know what Greg Berhalter wants to do, and I think that's important. We know that Greg Berhalter wants to incorporate a possession style game. Great. So for us,
then why do you have Walker Zimmerman?
Yeah. So for us, we could see what the build out's going to look like on our side. We could see what the attacking phase is going to look like on our side. We could see how Greg wants to. We'll see what his identity is on the defensive side. Now, from what I saw, especially the El Salvador game, they like to press high. So we'll see if they continue to do that or not. So all of these questions I think will be asked, but I think those are the most important things that we should look for. Number one, what does the build out look like? What does the attacking phase look like? And I think from there, we can then spotlight some of these players that he has there and see how they play in Berhalter's system.
What, 5-1, you think? Maybe closer?
I don't know. I have no prediction once again because I'm not too familiar with Serbia. I mean, because we'll take. So I'll give you an example. They play a team like Canada. Canada values possession. They play a team like Wales. Wales does not value possession. So that may change the tactics of what Greg Berhalter wants to do going forward. So we have to see how he plays, and it's hard to sort of give a prediction based on that. So I don't really know how to really score this. It's just a matter of whether or not we see the product we think we're going to see, or at least the identity that Greg Berhalter wants to implement on this team.
I'm going to ask you the dumbest question because I've always wanted to ask this real quick before we head out.
Sure.
Why is Canada so bad at soccer? Like I wish they were good, man. That would be legit. People from the north who are in the Arctic good at soccer.
Well, if I can offer this up, there was a game. I want to say it was 2 years ago now, where the USA played Canada. And I believe, gosh, it's been a couple of years, but USA won that game, I think either 4-0 or 4-1. And the reason why I bring that game up, Tim, is because if you look at the stats, I think Canada had like 70% of the possession. To the USA had 30% possession. Canada had far more shots on goal than the US men's national team did. They also were able to string together far more passes of their passing accuracy, and the number of passes that they connected far greater than the U.S. men's national team. So even though the score wasn't really indicative of how the game went, Canada looked like they were doing some really good things out there. The problem is that they don't quite have the finishers. They're lacking in certain areas on the field that can maybe help boost their score. Like maybe
they never make World Cup.
Yeah, well, I mean, you never know. I'd say never say never. I mean, I do like Alphonso Davies. I mean, he's a really nice player that they have. But I think overall, I think that's why you don't see Canada. You don't see Canada in there because there's a lot of holes in certain key positions that they need filled. And you could say the same thing about the US men's national team, Tim. Like we don't have a striker. We don't have a 9. People say that we have like 30 strikers, and when you have 30, that means you don't have any, right? So, and that's true. We don't really have a pure striker. So, I mean,
But I mean, that guy from Germany is obviously a U.S. citizen, or he was born here. I mean, come on, man.
Wait, which are you talking about? Which striker?
The best striker in the world that we were talking about.
Germany.
Obviously, he's from the United States. I mean, let's just get him the papers and we're good.
Let's see if we can fake his passport or something.
It's the way to go,
dude. Lewandowski. If the USA has never had any kind of striker with the ability that guy has, it would be insane if the US could ever produce or develop a player like him. Holy crap. Watch out, man. Oh, nice. Yeah. All right. Yeah, he's the ultimate goal poacher. So in any case, that's pretty much it. So roster, US men's national team, here a little bit down. And excited to see what they're going to do though against Serbia.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, that's our soccer segment with our resident soccer expert, Son. Once again, you're with the Son and Tim show. He's obviously Son. I'm Tim. Please hit the like button. Please hit subscribe. We're going to bring you a lot of different U.S. men's soccer videos in the future. Have a good
Take
day.
care, guys.
Peace out. Yep.